Hello everyone, welcome back again to another episode of Laravel Socialite Package. And in this episode, I'm gonna implement GitHub with our Laravel application. So in the previous videos, we did the Google provider, and we have also Facebook, LinkedIn, and in this tutorial, I was expecting to implement Twitter, but there is some process. You need to send an application to them, then they will review it, and if the application is approved, then you can access to create some applications. Not the same process as other providers. So instead, I'm gonna use GitHub. It's easy to implement. It's the same as we did before. So let's jump into the VS Code and explain the process. So first of all, we need to create a controller, and I'm gonna create GitHub controller. Auth GitHub. Let's go to HTTP controller auth, and we have GitHub controller. So if you see here, we have, for example, if you have an application and you will use multiple or couples of providers, then I think this is can be refactored, and this is what I'm gonna do at the end of this tutorial. I'm gonna refactor everything so you can use something useful. You can, for example, use an action or a treat or something. So without duplicating the code, because it's the same in the Facebook controller, GitHub, or Google, or any other provider. So we can just pass the provider type, and we without replicating the code over and over. It's not something good. So for now, I will do the same. I will just copy paste this code and go through the code, the functions, and at the end of the series, I will do just a short video of refactoring the controllers and also the views. The buttons. We may do all all-in-one components, all the login buttons, and then we can. This is, I think, it's the better approach to do something like this. So if you want to use just only one provider, then there is no need to refactor the code. But if you will use multiple or couples of providers, then you can follow the refactoring approach and do it once and use it in all controllers. So I will jump to the GitHub controller and paste the functions. We need this. Okay, we need the type const private type will be GitHub. And we need to import Socialite. Okay, I'm gonna just copy this and paste it here. Okay, so there is no errors. So the first thing we have a handle, a GitHub controller, GitHub redirects. Okay, so we have a handle GitHub redirects. So here we will redirect to the GitHub endpoint, and then once we authorize our application, we will use this handle GitHub function. So first we will check. First we have the user that we got from GitHub or the driver, and then we will check in the database if we have the user existed. After that, we have this if statement. If the user existed, just log in and redirect to the dashboard. If not, create a new user with those informations, and you will send this dispatch new user event. This comes with Laravel jetstream, and then we have this. We will create a new team, and yeah, after that we will update the current team ID. And by the way, I found something. I just removed some records from the tables, and then I faced an error. And this comes from where? In the previous episode, we used this ID from the user ID, but instead we need the team ID. This should be team ID, and we are no longer will face this issue again. So that's it for this. Once we update the current team ID field with team ID, we will log in with this new user and then redirect to the dashboard. Otherwise, we have this exception for example, we will catch the error that comes. If we have any error, we will just die and dump, and you can't do anything else after that. You may show to the user the error, or you may redirect somewhere else. But for now, I will just die and dump the errors that are coming from. Yeah, so that's it for the controller. We need the providers in config services file. Okay, we will create, and this will be GitHub and GitHub Client ID, and the URL will be GitHub or the GitHub callback. So yeah, we need to go to the routes web.php and then create the routes for GitHub. This GitHub and this should be changed. Okay, that's it. The same. We need to add the buttons in resources, JS directory, pages, and auth directory. We have login.view. So as I said before, on the control, on refactoring, we may add a new component for this, and we will use all this logic in method, and I'm gonna use it in one single method. For example, login with, for example, driver, and I will pass the driver here. Okay, and then I will just, so I'm gonna do this for this but for now I'm gonna switch this to another file, for example, in the next episode. But for now, I'm gonna use only one function instead of those 3 functions, or maybe 4, or I don't know, maybe something else. I never seen a website or an application with a lot of login or registrations button, but I don't know if it's already there or not. But for now, we have this tutorial. We will use a lot of providers. So I'm gonna paste this, and instead you can use driver here, or there is another way. just, for example, like this. And yeah, you can choose whatever you need or you are comfortable with. I will use this. It's actually good. And yeah, instead of those, I'm gonna remove all of them and use only this. Login with Google will be this, and this. Driver. Okay, and inside this, I'm gonna paste, for example, let's just do Google, and yeah, I will change this to LinkedIn, and third Facebook. Okay, and this will work. So for this, we have GitHub. Instead of duplicating the code, I don't like this actually. So for now, I'm doing beginner stuff, but in the next tutorials or courses, we will see beginners and intermediate. Maybe there is some advanced things. And yeah, this tutorial, it's to learn together. It's not just I will teach you something, but yeah, if you have something that you see that it's good approach and I didn't uh, mention this, or yeah, you can just do it in the comments below. Yeah, I appreciate it actually, and it will be helpful for both of us. So yeah, we did this, and we need the client ID, GitHub client ID, and GitHub client secret. Okay, so for now we need to. Okay, this is by mistake. Okay, so yeah, I need to run the server. Here we go. We have login with GitHub. Okay, and we need to create. You can just go to, for example, settings. Let's go through this. Settings and then developer settings, and yeah, create new GitHub application. I will name it Laravel Socialite Auth. Can I use the same name here? Okay, the same. And on page URL, it's localhost 8000. You may, for example, use something else, but yeah. And the callback will be this: OAuth, GitHub, and callback. That's it. The webhook, I don't need it. And yeah, we need the permissions. The permissions, I need only the email address, yeah, and the user permissions. You can give read only. That's it. So yeah, create GitHub application. Okay, we have the client ID here. It's this one. And generate new client secret. Okay, here we go. We have the client secret here. So yeah, let me check the database. If we have some records here, I will, okay, instead of removing, okay, delete row. Okay, so for now, I'm gonna check login application, yeah, and then sign in with GitHub. So yeah, here we go. We have the redirect to this, and we will authorize Laravel Socialite, our application, to access this account. Yeah, so authorize Laravel Socialite, and then the redirection will be to this page. And we have successfully created our login from GitHub, and everything is working perfect. Yeah, so that's it for this episode. In the next episode, I'm gonna implement Twitter once it's approved. Yeah, so thank you so much for this, for following me or watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. And see you in the next episode.